Commissioners, we're going live. Okay. Commissioners, we're going live. This is calling the meeting to order of the Park Recreation Commission for June 18th. Call to order. And roll call. All commissioners are present, and staff, Tricia, Clay, and Steve. Adoption of the agenda. Are there any deletions, additions, or changes?
I move that we adopt the agenda as we're presented.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, can I have approval of the minutes of May 21st?
I move to approve the minutes of May 21st.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, citizen communications. No citizen communications, thank you. Okay, we're going to move to old business, the fire hydrant painting.
Yeah,
Staff?
subsequent to your last meeting, I did have a conversation with the fire department, and they are comfortable with moving forward with the program as we've had it in the past. And the finance director, Stuart, has indicated to me that we do have money in the budget for a program, so it's, I think, up to the commission and just in terms of how you want to pursue that. I know in the many, many years ago, I do recall that there was an actual, I think, Saturday that it was done on, I think in the fall. But, how we organize it and is really kind of a, I think, more of a discussion for the commission.
I have a question. You said as it's been done in the past. When we looked at that document that was written, I think, in 1998, it said something about how we were going to restrict what streets fire hydrants could be painted, could have painted fire hydrants. And so, as I remember doing it, I did it on Humboldt, and that wasn't on the list that that report had indicated. So, what do you mean by is it only those streets or
Yeah,
all the
good-
streets?
Good question. I think that there isn't a street restriction. The only restriction will be that the head of the fire hydrant
Is
would-
painted according to the
according to the
pressure?
pressure, yeah. But
Okay.
the base of it can be painted whatever, somebody wants to do or whatever we authorize. So,
Great.
yeah.
Do you put it in the stars so we can get volunteers? How do you go about that?
Well, it's been a long time, but as I remember, it was an event on a Saturday, and I'm trying to remember if it was connected.
We had volunteers.
We had a kickoff, and it was a weekend, it was a Saturday. I believe it was maybe even a Friday, but I know it was a Saturday and a Sunday. And you picked what fire hydrant you want. You went down to the City Hall. Park and Rec provided the brushes to clean and the paint and the paint brushes. And you painted it according to what it already was. Then, some people did add, I believe they either changed some of the fire hydrants, or
There were ones that were not painted, and then
Yeah.
they were able
to paint
paint
them.
them. So I think they had to get the design approved.
Right.
Because there was SpongeBob that was done one year, and that wasn't one of the original,
Right.
paintings. And then I remember it was at the park. We would go down to the park, and then you would tell them, I'm painting Uncle Sam on Humboldt. And they said, okay, well, here are the colors that go for that. And they would hand them to you, and in the little, baby formula jars. And then you would just touch them up according to how they had already been painted. But since it's been so long that we've done that, it's kind of hard to go over and paint the old designs because some of them are so flaked off. So we may need to go ahead and allow people to paint something new. And in the Uncle Sam one that we did was painted over or removed. I don't know.
Okay.
But so anyways, we
But
might think about that.
excuse me, in this program, we're not painting any new fire hydrants. We're only painting the existing character ones, correct?
Well, I think that's up to the commission, how you want to approach it.
Some of them don't have characters on them.
Right.
They're
And I thought that's why
Don't add
we
any.
removed
Yeah, don't add any.
it and put them into the plug preserve.
Right.
because we removed them, and then they wanted to put in the regular yellow ones.
But there are still some that are in use that
Yeah.
are painted.
Yeah.
So the question is, we want to restore those.
Right.
But some of them, like the one in front of Silver Spot, is kind of flaking off. So I don't know. I haven't looked at it very carefully in the past couple weeks to know how bad it is, but I'm saying some of them might be so bad that it might be too difficult to repaint the same as they were before, that we may allow those to be, because they need to be repainted anyways because
right.
they're so flaky. So we may allow people to repaint a new design on those, but not go to another
Right.
fire hydrant that's been blank this whole time and open that up for something new.
And there might need to be some sort of prep done if they're flaking. You might need to
Yeah,
remove
'cause
some of that paint.
Before it was so
that's what
easy
they
because
give-
every year,
They would give you
some sort of, like,
brushes, the wire
wire brushes.
brushes, and, you know, you have to, I guess, bottled water and cloths and everything, and wipe them all down.
Yeah, I think in
what we did.
I believe Russ was the one who kind of organized this from a staff level, so we would have Russ work on this. And maybe you want to have one of your subcommittees work with Russ on putting the
Okay.
details together on this?
Okay.
that would be a good idea.
Yeah, and Madison, you're the designated subcommittee fire hydrant lady.
Okay.
Do we have
But-
a subcommittee for that?
Might have
Create a new one.
That's a new creation.
I think it's a good idea.
And, well, do you want to do like a kickoff where you would do it
Yes.
on a weekend? And then after that, if anybody else wanted to come down during weeks or whatever, because, you know,
have
might
to
take
have
somebody a couple days.
volunteers.
Yeah, the people
That's
in
what I
the
think,
city.
like in the Star,
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
that, we're going to be doing this,
Again,
and we would like volunteers
yeah.
that are interested.
I think we could even like some of the ones that we're going to have to repaint over, some of the ones that are beyond, coloring over the same. We could even do something where we could have some sort of contest and we could have some judges in the community, maybe the mayor, and then I'm sure some businesses would donate a gift certificate. So that could kind of get people excited, because I would imagine a lot of people aren't familiar with this program to know necessarily what it's about. So that could be a way to get people interested and wanting to participate and be creative. And it could also be kind of a form of public art. So maybe this could fall under, I don't know if we want to build a whole subcommittee for that, or if this would be under public art. We'd have to
You
talk
might,
about it.
you might be better
Doing its own thing.
doing it as a separate activity than as involving it in public
Because it's
art.
going to be every year.
Right, and your ideas about, getting other people involved and
Okay.
rewards and pictures, and maybe we can publish the pictures of
Yeah.
them after they're done. I wanted to ask, do they have fire hydrants up on the ridge?
That's a
No, not colored ones. I think that's a new development, and I don't know,
No, they have fire hydrants, but I think
Yeah.
you're right, they're not.
But they aren't, and you're going to run into all those association people, and no, I wouldn't touch
They
them.
can run into, I was thinking maybe they have cisterns or a different kind of fire hydrant or something.
Yeah.
But in any case, why not involve them in the community? And getting involved with the homeowners association is not a big deal. In fact, we ought to in some way be interfacing with them. They're part of our community. And if we did, perhaps then we would have people at the Ridge voting, and we've found across the board that they don't. And so I think this is part of the community, having them involved in the community, have their children involved in it,
Yeah.
and a way of having them belonging to all of Brisbane.
Well, that's a
That's a
good
valid
point, but I just know, because I live up there, and the association, I mean, their colors on their houses all have to
Right.
be approved through the homeowners, and
Well, I think
it's
we
even
should
down
take
to
care of
the,
what
to the
we have.
parking. Yeah, let's take care of what we have.
Well, this is a public, fire hydrants don't belong to the association. They
No,
can't-
but we're talking about the ones that have already been painted.
I see.
Yeah, we aren't talking about painting new
And
ones.
so are you against involving them?
No, they could come, they can be involved and come down and paint the,
How about designating giving them the option, sending them a letter and
Well,
telling them we're going to do it, and giving them the option of being involved.
Well,
Well, I'm sure we can discuss that if we had a subcommittee and to feel it out to see if the Ridge would be interested in doing that sort of thing
they get
with
the
us.
star up there, too.
We keep talking about the ridge
As if it's separate.
part of
I know, I know.
and it very much is. And
It is.
when we do these kinds of things involving the people at the Ridge, people who live at the Ridge, who used to live in this center part of town, know a lot about these things. People who live at the Ridge who are new to Brisbane may not know. And it might be very interesting to them.
Brisbane culture.
It's Brisbane culture.
Yeah.
That's a very good point. In fact, the article that you found in the Sacramento Bee, I don't know if the Ridge, if the homeowners association puts out a newsletter. We used to
Yes.
put out a newsletter. That might be a very good place to include that article
Yeah.
in their newsletter. And so involving them, this is a way of teaching them what the history is and what we've done. And I really think we ought to be working to, we use the fields, we use Mission Blue, we sort of mix all of our resources together, and bringing them socially into the environment is a really important part of the community, a part of using the community.
But I have to disagree with you in one respect. I live up there, and I know other staff members that have lived up there and do live up there. We get the star, we get the luminary. Our kids go to school in this school district, so they are part of Brisbane. I don't think I'm any different living up there than living down here. I don't look at it that way, and I don't think a lot of the people up there do. The only thing that's really different is the streets. You don't have the congestion on the streets. That's really the only difference of living up there.
I
But
guess
they do get the information.
I think from
Brisbane.
being in a homeowners association and being president of the homeowners association where I lived, we actually had two cities represented on the property, San Francisco and Daly City. And so we tried to involve the people who live there in both cities, because that's where they voted, that's where their services ultimately were, if they had to belong in order to participate. So I think sending that article up for their newsletter and trying to involve them, I think it's a very important thing. It doesn't hurt us, it doesn't cost us anything.
Well, I think we also need to check though, because I know that Clay said that the fire department is going to allow us to repaint the ones that have already been painted. But I don't know if they'll
Yeah.
let us do the ones that's probably like another thing we need to check on. I don't know if it just matters that the tops are color coordinated or if like that. Right.
Yeah.
Officer, oh, okay.
Thank
There
you.
we
That was a
go.
nice trick on my part. So the fire departments, 15 years ago, there was a lot of concern in fire departments about these types of programs and
Yeah.
potential problems. That concern has really been abated over time because there hasn't been an issue. So the word that I've gotten from the chief is that as long as the top part of the fire hydrant has got a
Proper.
pressure related color, the rest of the fire hydrant is, they're fine with.
Up for grabs.
I didn't specifically ask about the ridge, but I don't think his answer would be any different than that.
Well, we should definitely talk about this.
Okay, in your subcommittee.
Maybe you wanna join me
I'll be
in
glad
the
to.
subcommittee.
I'll be glad to.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay, so I'll let you take that on. Okay.
Great.
Thank you, Madison. Okay. We're going to move on to the therapeutic pool proposed program. And I just want to let you know that me as the chair and the vice chair, we brought this back after our goals meeting to discuss some things further. And we all got the staff report on this. with the options. So is there any discussion on this?
Yes.
Okay?
Because the options tend to go back to the same proposals and arguments we've had now for going on 2.5 years, which are that we don't want to disturb the lap swimmers, and we want to make sure there's room for lap swimmers, and we have to fit this other group in there. And I've been doing a lot of thinking about it, and I think that this ends up being a battle of sorts that we keep going over and over. We miss a year, we miss a summer, another summer goes by, and I thought to myself, the people who put the playground equipment together and decided on the playground equipment were cautious. They took into account that the people using those swings were going to be different, and so they have different swings. They took into account that people of different abilities would be using those swings, and they accounted for that. And I think that was really very, very smart on their part. And I think that we haven't been as smart in the use of the pool. So, I've tried to think of what are the real negations here. Steve during the goals workshop said, with the population we have, if we get 4 people into a group, we're very happy. Okay. I looked at the proposals, and it leaves 2 lanes on the side, so you ultimately are limiting the program to 2 people, one in one lane, one in the other, and the lap swimmers in the middle. That's only 2 people, and that contributes to the failure of the program. And I'm wondering, why would we not make a dedication in the same spirit that the people who put the playground together cautiously looked at the needs of the people in the community and said, look, we have others in this community who operate at a different level or need a different level, and just do it. Because otherwise this gets them to be some kind of a contest. Is it a personal issue? What is it? Why not? So I thought tonight the best thing to do is find out why each commissioner, because this is a commission decision to be sent on to the council if needs be, why would each commissioner oppose giving a time to people to use the pool in this way? And I've looked at the pool, and knowing that the issue is the side-to-side swimming, there are 2 sections to the pool. The lap swimmers can swim in 3 feet of water. Let them swim on the other side. But the people who need the buoyancy, and they need the water up to their armpits at least, let them use the section of the pool that will have at least 4+ feet of water to walk in. Put the lap swimmers on the other side. They will still have water to swim in, and they don't need more than 3 feet of water to do lap swimming, but a walker does. And we defeat this program from the get-go, and we spend another hashing it out. I can't tell you how many hours we've done this, and it goes past another year, and then, we have people interested in this, and I think that we have a responsibility to this population and to give a program like this a shot. Give it a try. And if lap swimmers are the key, put the lap swimmers on the other side of the pool. They don't need 5 feet to swim in. They can swim in 3.5 feet. But a walker has to have water up to their armpits, and they need to have the buoyancy. And the side-to-side also gives them, if they get tired going across, they can rest, they go back the other side and rest. So I think that accommodates both groups. The lap swimmers can swim on the side where the water is shallower, and the people who need to walk can walk on the side that they need the deeper water for.
Okay, does any other commissioner have a comment?
Through the ch-
I did water therapy at Mills Hospital, and we did not go up to our armpits. We went to our waist, chest area. You don't need it that high to walk. You just need the buoyancy, and we went on the shallow end, and they had swimmers on the deeper end. So, because I've done therapy in the pool, that's what I had. And this was at Mills Hospital.
I have a question
Okay.
for Jamie. Do you have this pool layout?
Yes, I looked at it. Mhm.
Okay. I'm just trying to, in my head, envision, because I saw option 1, option 2, and option 3. So it sounds like option 2 is not a good idea. That's the one where all the lanes remain in place, and then this portion is used, the existing portion is used for walking. And then option 1 is to have no lanes whatsoever. And then option 3 is to have 2 lanes. And so this gets extended. In your scenario that you're suggesting, so the lap swimmers are going
They're
this
doing lap
way,
swimming.
this way, right?
That's
So
correct.
in your proposed solution, so that it's combining lap swimmers and walkers, where do the lap swimmers go? Just so
You know where the
I'm
lap swimmers
envisioning.
swim now.
Yeah, so they swim like right here, right?
All right, if you're looking at the pool from the end of it, the lap swimmers are swimming on the right.
Right.
We would have them swimming on the left
Okay.
and have the walkers walking on the right, because that's where the deeper water is.
How are
That's
they
where
going to
it's
get into the
graduated.
pool?
I beg your pardon?
How will they get into the pool? They'll still walk in the same way? Walk in that slope?
Either or steps. Either or.
So they're swimming on this side?
On the,
You mean width-wise,
they're swimming width-wise.
So you mean
here to here,
this way? Like in the deep end?
and the
You know,
shallow end.
we might need to create some common terms here if we all look at the playout, the
Yeah,
pool
I'm trying
layout.
to figure out.
Let's just do it like a map, like the top where it says pool layout. Let's
Yeah,
call that
pool layout.
north.
So I'm seeing
Even though it
where-
may be west, but let's just call it north. So we're looking north. The deep end would be south.
Yeah.
The zero entry would be the east,
Right.
and then the other side would be west.
So Jamie, you're talking about using lap swimming on the north from side to side.
That's correct. North, south, side to side.
Well,
Wait.
actually, north-south would be end-to-end, which is the way we
Which
do
we
lap
have
swim
it.
right now.
That's how we have it.
Yeah.
Currently.
So we
And
have
what we're
lap swim.
saying is, we'll use that for walking, but graduated. For example, let's have an example of a 4-foot person who wants to do walking, and they don't need 5 feet of water, but then you get a 6-foot fellow who comes in there with an injury that he's been working on, and he's been told the best therapy for you is swimming and walking, and you've got to walk before you swim, so we want to put him in deeper water.
So are the walkers walking north to south or east to west? Because I would think
If we're
they'd
look-
be east.
If they'd be walking east to west, because if we're
Right.
looking at north to south, as you've designated it, Steve, then they would be walking east to west, but in the long section that is now used for lap swimmers.
Isn't that
Here's
skinny?
here's an interesting thing to me. You know, we went to our goals workshop, and we didn't have this plan of all the details of, and then it comes in as 3 options.
Yeah.
And the options weren't made by the commission, the options were brought to us. So
Right.
by looking at it now, we're looking at 3 options that have been designed outside of the commission, and we're being asked to make a choice. And so I'm saying that, that's part of the picture, but there are other parts that should come from the commission because we're looking at it, you and I,
Different eyes.
yes, we're looking at it from different eyes. I'm looking at it from somebody who worked in a therapeutic pool, who's used a therapeutic pool over the years. You've worked in a therapeutic pool, and you've taken people to a therapeutic pool.
I've taken people to
You've
it.
taken people to a
Okay,
therapeutic.
but I want to, let me,
So I'm
You'll
still
just
trying to
back
figure out
in.
where the lap swimmers are
wait,
going.
excuse me, through the commission, through the chair, please. I asked, along with Vice Chair, to bring this back with these options, because after our discussion of the goal, I went over to the pool on Saturday and looked at when they were having the water aerobics and the lap swimming. They had 12 people there at the water aerobics. On this side, with the lap swimmers where they are coexisting now. There were 12 people doing the water aerobics. There were 5 people doing lap swimming, and when I left, 3 more people were coming. It fit both programs. I also went to Planet Fitness, where you
Yeah.
told me they do a thing. Oh, okay. Their pool, they also coincide with lap swimmers. They only had one lane. They had one lane to walk, do the walking water fitness. And there was 2 times I went, there was a woman, she was on a floating device. There was 2 women at that time walking, and one was on kind of a vest thing with a paddle. We have those things too that they can help them. A gentleman was in there and he walked from one end to the other. He did not touch the sides or the end to turn around. And that pool goes from the depth of 3 feet, 4 feet, 5, 4, and 3.5, and they walk up,
North
up
to
and
south.
down, up and down this way,
Yeah.
up and down this way. And they have to walk in on steps. Now, we don't have steps, we have ladders, and then we have that ramp. So the people could come in the ramp, walk here, they could walk back and forth over to the part here, and we would still have enough room for these water walking fitness. I don't want to call it therapy, because if you're really going to have therapy, then they're going to need to go to a place like this that has, and they do have 3 therapists that are on call at different times. And that gentleman was 6 foot something, and he, it never went above his breasts, the water. It didn't really go over, So, and he was walking and doing that sort, and the pool was at 82 degrees.
Yeah.
Which I believe our pool,
Is about that?
82.
And it's
So
indoor.
We all have the same thing. We want to do this program, but we want to do this program that we aren't losing other programs too. And I think it's still going to fly. July 7th, isn't that the date you kind of have set?
Yeah, just the
Did
Monday
you-
after 4th of July. We just get it.
And then I've also talked to one of our head lifeguards that are down there, and we already have people down there doing water walking fitness.
I've talked to
They
them.
come in and they do it.
Yes.
And they do it in the area where the water aerobics is performed.
And-
So you could have more than 2, 3 people. That Pacific Fitness, there was one guy in there, and if you put 3 people in there on that lane, they'd be hitting each other. We have the room to do this.
So may I ask this, Madam Chairman, what would we do if we had 10 people show up? Where would we put them? We had 3 lap swimmers or 2 lap swimmers and 10 water walkers. How should we manage that? Because my goal is to work for the success of the program.
Yeah,
How
we all
best-
are.
How best can we do this, starting from scratch, trying to set it up in the most amenable way for success? How best could we do that?
Well, that's what we're here for. We're, we're talking about these three options. Here's these three options. I think if we start changing lanes and moving the ropes all around, we're gonna,
Well, I don't know if we can even, because I don't know
Yeah.
if there are hooks.
We don't need hooks, what you do.
and I tell you, the people swimming from down here to the 3 feet, you're gonna get those people that have those long arms, they're gonna hit the bottom of that pool. They'll hit the bottom of that pool.
If I'm swimming,
Yeah.
and I'm swimming in that area, unless I'm, doing somersault, turn at the end of it,
Yeah.
I probably won't hit the bottom, but my goal in this is for us to put together a program that will make it the most successful program we can, to get another group involved. I'm not tied to anything in any way unless it feels to me like it might deter from the success, and then we'll throw up our hands at the end of the summer and say, well, that didn't work. So, I'm willing to work with whatever works and give it a shot, because my goal in this, I was thinking about this like the Lions Club. You join the Lions Club, you don't join the Lions Club to get something. You join it to give. You don't say, I'm going to be a politician someday, I hope they'll vote for me, I'll get that. You don't join the commission for that either. I'm not here to get something for myself, I'm here for the community. I see this as a benefit for the community, and if together we can come up with a system that works and all of us get behind it, well then, let's give it a shot. My goal is not to have a program that has 2 or 3 people in it, but to give it a real pitch, to put the same efforts into it as we would for any other program, and.
Well, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Well, my experience,
yeah.
I'm adding my experience to
Yeah.
it, and you think not.
No, that's not. Listen, I don't want to get in a pissing match here, if I may say that, but, we have something here. Let's work. We're all here. We're trying to do this for the common good of all citizens of Brisbane.
I totally
And to
agree.
accommodate the lap swimmers and the programs that we do have. So I want to hear from some other commissioners too.
I agree.
Karen, what is your input?
I mean, I certainly see your point, Jamie, that side to side would be ideal. But I also look at the number of this 425 evening lap swimmers, and I can't displace them. I can't imagine displacing them, that many people.
I totally agree with that. I'm thinking, do we really, because I've been up there at night, we have 425 lap swimmers at night?
Let me verify that. That
The
is,
whole month.
that is including,
All
that might be a
hours.
little skewed because that was April, so that also includes rec swim. They're not differentiated between lap and rec.
Right. So
That's
on
all people who came into the pool between 4 and 7 p.m. weeknights.
let's do one day. On one day, on a Monday, what would be your expectation for numbers of lap swimmers that would come in on Monday from 1 hour to the next hour? 1 hour.
I would say what she saw was pretty, there were 5 at one point and another 3 came in.
Yeah, when.
Maybe a little more than
Karen and I-
5 to 10.
Okay.
Yeah, Karen and I first walked in there was one lap swimmer, there was 12 water aerobics people, and they were starting their program. By the time we were walking around and talking and looking at stuff, 5 more people came in to lap swim.
Okay.
And then I left, Karen was still there, and 3 more people walked in.
What time did you go?
That was between 9:30 and 10 o'clock. I
Oh,
left
that's
at 9:30.
morning.
In the morning?
Yes, and also at that Planet Fitness, more people come to do their water walking
morning.
fitness in the morning.
Yeah.
This
is true.
takes away all these people who work. So I thought we were talking about an evening program.
Yeah, we are.
We could do evening, morning,
So-
all
Okay.
day.
So how best could we accommodate, at the very least, let's say, 5 people doing water walking at night? What's the best time? What's the best way?
If I can, I was talking to staff this week, and they're pretty, they think it's pretty funny that we're even discussing this because they don't think that there was ever any differential between lap swimming and people just coming. There's people that come up and just walk, and there's somebody recently had back surgery, was in a car accident. She comes up and she walks, and they don't think. Well, actually, in their words, to make it the most successful program, they said, well, why don't we just, promote it and let them come at all the times we offer lap swim? Because that's like 45 hours a week that anybody could come and do it in the morning, lunchtime, evening, weekend mornings. If there's also, I know you want to have a dedicated time for people who are new to in the pool, or they don't want to be.
And they haven't been there before.
Yeah, they haven't been there.
We're pitching it.
Yeah, so that's, we can try at that, but it also, I think just, if we could fold it into just regular, I looked at, looking around for other people, and the city of Dublin does lap swim and water walking at the same time at their community pool.
And how's their pool set up? Well, it doesn't matter. The bottom line is, with what we have right now,
Yeah,
what can we do to assure that we would have space for 5 people that wanted to walk at night? So the people who work during the day,
I think, 2 lanes going lengthwise, we have, when it gets busy, we do circle swimming with up to 3 people swimming in a lap lane. They just have to time it right, so they kind of all swim in a circle, and they're not bumping into each other. People walking, we could definitely at least do 2 in a lane, and
well, let me tell you about those people. I've happened to talk to them, and they say they do it on their own because that's their only opportunity. They don't like it.
no.
They don't like it at all because they are bumping into one another, and it doesn't give them the impetus, to keep going to walk. So anyway, rather than have this hash and hash and hash, and we don't get something going, let's get something going, and let's find the best way to do it, and find a way to make this an innovative program, and not just throw everybody in and say, okay, you're welcome to come to the pool. They already know that. Pool's been here a long time, and there's that large group of people out there who aren't coming. How do we get them in? So what's the best way to do that?
And we used to have evening water aerobics, and that one kind of died on the vine due to lack of participation.
These people don't want to do aerobics.
Well, it's
They
kind
wanna
of
be
similar.
out
It's a
there, yeah.
water exercise class that it didn't go, but
Maybe we
it went for a
should-
while, but then
Through the chair.
Yes.
Maybe we should consider doing one day morning, one day evening. I know we talked about this in the goals meeting. Then it was like, that's too confusing because one's morning, one's evening. But I could see us getting a good feel for what time is the most popular if we started out with both options. That way, like you said, all the people who I take to the pool, and in your experience, me as a swimmer myself, prefer to go in the morning. And then, of course, there are people who work who need to come at night. So it could give us a good idea. Because also, we don't want to necessarily have it all be at night when we're thinking not a lot of people. There's a chance not a lot of people will show up and then say, oh, yeah, there's not a big interest in water walking, when maybe it could be that they would prefer to come in the morning and do their exercise then. So if we had options for both times, then it could really
idea.
accommodate everyone. And I know we talked an 8 to 9 was the time that you saw in the program would work with the.
actually it wouldn't.
It
we have
wouldn't?
a swim team that has the pool at that
Oh.
time. So it's the one program we missed when we were looking at it.
That makes sense because that's. I
See,
used
that's
to-
what, the summer's coming up, so all those swimming
Yeah.
lessons, and so we
The
gotta,
pool opens starting Monday. The doors open at 6:30 a.m. and they don't shut till 8 p.m. And there's programs going on.
So maybe
day.
this time that we allotted is kind of the only time that really makes sense then. There's really no morning times that you can foresee that would work for this sort of water walking designation.
what time do the swimmers start? The lessons, swimming lessons?
Swim lessons 9:55, 9:45.
9:45. At what time,
So like Mondays,
Is the
between
swim-
9 a.m. and 10 a.m., we've got lap swim, water aerobics, and lap swim, water aerobics.
But water aerobics is only, what?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Oh, Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
So they are not there on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 9:15 and 10:15.
So Tuesday, Thursday, what do you have? Anything? Is that the swim team?
It would just be lap swim until swim team 8 to 9, lap swim, and then the lessons don't start till 9:45.
So, 8
So
to
there's
9.
no
I
real
see.
time in there.
So 9 to 9:45.
Is the only time, huh?
Well, we could, at least that would be something. 9 to 9:45, we could do the walking fitness, and then we'd have it at night, too.
Wait, is there still lap swimming happening between 9 and 9:45 or no?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
lap swim's pretty much constant.
Right, because
Till
at
1
night we're
p.m.
still trying to do a lap swim, a pair up with lap swim and water walking. So couldn't also early in the morning. That's
Yeah,
open.
6:30?
And also, I feel like 9 to 9:45 is an easier time maybe for people, but I don't know enough about the traffic at the pool to be able to say what's the most popular time. But so what we could
The
consider
most popular is
6:30 to
evening, then lunch, then morning, as far as lap swim. Evening's probably the most popular, lunchtime, then morning's probably the latest.
Okay, so maybe 9 to 9:45 if we're looking at a morning time.
And are we
Would
looking
make
at every
sense.
morning, 9 to 9:45?
I think that's Tuesday and Thursday.
Yeah, if we did it, that'd be 4 programs at once, if we did it on Mondays and Wednesdays.
I see. So
That'd be a
Tuesday-
lot.
that'd be-
yeah.
So it's
Yeah, that
best
would
in
be-
the evening.
Tuesday, well, then Tuesday, Thursday.
Or we could
you have
roll it
to
into
morning.
lap swim.
You could do it Monday, Tuesday, or
What?
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Roll it into regular lap swim.
If you were to do dedicated water walking from 9 to 9:45 on Tuesday and Thursday, that would necessitate moving the lane dividers.
No, may I explain that? What we used to do, rather, because there weren't hooks, we didn't put hooks in every pool up the sides because they just became obstructions. You just have little cones, like little orange cones, not the biggest ones, but just laying off on both sides,
Yeah,
and you knew you were walking back and
Yeah,
forth.
no, I totally understand that. What I mean is there existing longitude lines that the lane swimmers use, those are actually flotation.
They're plastic, you just.
Right, so in that time, they would have to remove them and then put them back? Is that
That's a-
feasible to do a 45-minute water walking where you have to reconfigure the pool?
Yeah, I mean, they do it for water aerobics, and it's only an hour.
Okay, so it doesn't take that, it's not that difficult to do. Okay, good. Well, that could be something. And then, Steve, also, how about from 7 to 8 on Friday? Is there a reason why they close up a little early on Friday?
I think they're just tired. I mean, it's Monday through Thursday is it's a long day, and then Saturday again is pretty much solid 9:30.
Is anybody working more than 8 hours?
Oh yeah, lifeguards go into overtime during the summer.
But they're paid for it?
Yeah,
For the time,
yeah.
yes. So a Friday night from 7 to 8 might be a good trial for an evening. I mean, I do see this as a trial. We have no idea, with the exception of the people that I've talked to, we have no idea how it'll go. If we support it, well, we've got a shot at providing a new service for folks. And there may come a time that we can reconfigure things in a better way than when we first start. But if we don't get going, it'll never happen. So
So we could do a Friday and then could we do a morning?
we do Friday and then Tuesday and Thursday mornings.
Or we could do
9 to-
Thursday morning and Friday afternoon? Friday night?
Friday night?
That way they're back to back. I don't know. But we should consider doing a morning and a night.
Are you-
Makes sense.
Steve, how do you feel about through the chair, I'm sorry, how do you feel about Tuesday and Thursday morning, 9 to 9:45, and Friday evening, 7 to 8? Or 7 to 7:45, a 45-minute walk that's a good lengthy period.
I mean, we can try it. I think it'll work. I mean, the pool's already open in the morning. I mean, it's no big deal. I mean, not no big deal, but they're there, they're ready to go. But it's, I don't know. It's going to be if people that we're trying to get,
Staff.
we're going to wedge them in between swim team, lap swimmers, lessons, and kids.
Got to try something.
I know, you got to try. It's going to be, it'll be busy, but, we can try it.
Let's try it and see what happens.
Do we have the staff, do we have somebody that'll staff, that'll stay till 8 o'clock? Or,
Isn't that
On
when we
Friday?
normally close?
what?
Isn't that
Oh,
when
yeah,
we're supposed
your
to-
hours changed, it's open till 8?
It's open till 8, Monday through Thursday, 7 on Friday.
Oh, so maybe we should go back to considering a.
Okay, because, yeah, I just
Now,
have
how can we
everything,
get-
I have, this paper that I have, it shows everything closes up at 7 PM.
Well, that's the rec swim. If you go up to lap swim, the blue,
Okay,
they go
yeah,
4:30 to 8.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, okay.
So it is open
Excuse
till
me.
8.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
open till
yeah.
8.
Okay, so, yeah.
Kids are out of the pool at 7.
Well, maybe Wednesday. then
Oh,
you could have
well, you-
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Okay, but you have the swim lessons till 7:15.
And that's an adult lesson. So
Okay,
And they do
6:45 to
need deep water.
7:15 is an adult lesson. So there's pretty much no kids after 7 o'clock.
okay.
Do they need they need the deep water for it?
For the adult lesson?
Yes,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, they do lanes. So, yeah.
I see.
So maybe we could even have, 7 to 8, with the lap swim Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Well, I was looking at the Tuesday and Thursday, 9 to 9:45.
Yeah, that too, but
And
I'm
then-
just, for the evening too.
2:70.
And we'd have it, all that, those evenings too.
Well, that's true, we don't.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be either or. We could
Yeah.
have some dedicated times, we could have some shared times, which
Yeah.
gives people a wider variety of
Right.
options.
Well, let's see what happens.
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You want to try it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm in it just to see that we start, we really get behind it as best we can, and then see what shakes out.
I think so, and if the program takes off, then we can reevaluate.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think it's a good
but then,
idea.
but then we aren't losing anything, any other program.
I
That's the
agree
one
with
thing.
that.
I didn't want to lose the lap swimmers and close things and.
know.
No, that makes perfect
Yeah.
sense.
And after going to Planet Fitness, thank you very much
Yeah.
for turning me on to that, and seeing how they did it, and they shared the pool with lap swimmers, and just how many people were in the pool at the time when they were doing it. And they said they really don't have a lot of people come at night. They're usually in the morning, and their big peak is at noontime. I guess people are taking their lunch breaks or what.
My impression of that is because it's a membership.
The pool is actually separate.
No, this is a
separate?
therapy.
They use the facility, the
Yeah.
same building, but
Yeah.
it's like a totally different.
Yeah, it's an actual, people come there that, like I said, they have 3 therapists that are on duty there that come at different times. But then there's people that do come there to do their walking therapy, fitness.
You can't even see it when you're at the gym. I didn't even
No.
know it was there. I had a membership there, and I didn't even know it was there until somebody. You have to go through all these doors. It's
Yeah,
very
yeah.
private.
Well, it sounds good.
And it's a small pool. I was kind of surprised. It's really, really
Community pools
small.
tend to be small. If you went to
Yeah.
the hospital pools,
Yeah.
hospitals that do have pools, they are small.
So let's do that.
Well, let's just be clear. So what are we doing?
So,
I'm
are we
confused.
doing, are we going to do, are we just eliminating these options 1, 2, and 3?
I think the option you're coming up with right now is good.
Okay.
I think it's a shot, and I think we can get behind it and give it as much support as we can in the community, and
And then we can kind of figure out what's popular.
Okay,
If you could,
yes,
maybe the chair could.
okay,
Just
yes.
form a motion,
Okay.
yes.
it's clear, and then we'll get that into the record, so we're all
Good.
crystal clear on what we're doing.
Okay, I make a motion that we are doing the water walking fitness, and we're going to do it at the times, designated times, on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 9:45. That's just walking only. And then, thank you very much for writing this out. And then dedicate 2 lanes to the water walking fitness from 7 to 8.
And what nights will those be, please?
And will those, Are those every night?
You can do every night and
Besides
in the
Friday.
morning?
I just want to make sure I got this right. It's,
We hadn't actually decided, but my feeling is we do that, and that, then you have something going on every day.
okay, okay. Let me rephrase this. Okay, here we go. I make a motion for the water walking fitness program to be added, and it will run Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9 to 9:45, and then Monday, Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m.
And
Monday and
may
Wednesday.
I ask, through the chair, did you say that you would dedicate 2 lanes at that time?
Dedicate 2 lanes to water walking fitness for the evening.
And, to have the flexibility of the people that are working there, if in fact nobody shows up for water walking and 6 people show up to lap swim, well then you work with what you have.
Yeah. Okay, so that's the motion.
I second.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye,
There.
terrific.
Okay, we got that. Ooh, and thank you very much, everybody. I know, as Jamie said, we're bashing it, but I know we all wanted to see this go. And thank you very much, Karen, for giving me their notes. Okay, on to the new.
I just want to make one comment.
Yeah.
I really appreciate the fact that members of the commission took time to go to other facilities, look at them, and to get an idea, because the more information we have, all of us, the better it is for us to work together on
Oh, yes.
getting something done well.
It was interesting to see.
Yeah, can we clarify
Okay.
one point?
Okay, yes.
So Tuesdays and Thursday mornings, we do have lap swim from 9 to 1?
We do.
But
So I just
9
wanna
to
see-
9:45 are dedicated.
Well,
Okay,
this
so
gets
there
back
is
to the
lap-
concept that we
yeah.
don't want to take anything away.
yeah.
So we would still have the lap swims and then dedicate 2 lanes to the walking? Is that the idea?
You're doing the
No,
2
that-
dedicated
we-
lanes in the morning, too?
No, that's what we said we were not going to do.
We thought
So
it was going
9
to
to
be,
9:45, it would be dedicated
was-
water walking.
let's see.
No lap swim?
And
That's why we were looking.
No, lap swim is still going to 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they'll be doing, okay, are they doing it in the area where the water aerobics is? Is that,
Well, so yes,
In
when
the
there's water
morning-
aerobics, there's 3 lap swim lanes and half the pool is to water aerobics.
yeah,
Tuesdays and Thursdays between whatever
9
time,
to
9 and
9:40.
1, well, 9
Nine-
until the lessons start, they have all 6 lanes. And then
Yeah,
once-
yes.
once the lessons start, then the lessons kind of creep into the
Yeah.
two lanes closest to the walk-in side.
yeah.
may I ask through the chair, how many people, lap swimmers, do you think you have from 9 to 9:45 in the morning? Does it just so happen that at a certain point, people go to work, or these are people that generally just lap swim from 6:30 in the morning to 10 o'clock in the morning, or 12, or whatever? Do they really swim that long?
It's, yeah, around here, because there's so many people that have different schedules or flex.
I
they-
see.
They have different, I mean, it's not heavy, I would say, but there's a steady stream of,
And they have their set hours now. I mean, they've had these times for quite a while.
yeah. And
they've-
also,
they've
I mean-
worked their,
If you look at the
Schedule.
pool diagram and you talk
Yeah.
about people walking, our pool is really pretty shallow and
Yeah.
it doesn't drop off very much. You can go
Yeah.
almost, if you're going side to side, that's 40 feet.
Mm-hmm.
We have a 75-foot pool and I'd say 90% of the pool is less than 5 feet deep when you get to the 4'6" mark on that map, and then it drops down to 8, and the final 10 feet is 8 feet. You can, I mean, it's not a whole lot of variation between the depth if you're walking. It's,
That's why we wanted to be in the lap swimmer lanes where we could have water that was buoyant enough and not just up to your waist or up to hip. You really need to have the ability to really use your arms and your legs in water. If you can have both your arms and your legs in water and not your arms down by your side and just walking. This involves the whole body.
Yeah.
Water walking involves sometimes partial treading with your arms while you walk in order to move yourself. That's why you want the water up high.
Yeah, but if you're going side to side and there's multiple people that want the same depth,
Well, you don't do that. You give them according to height. You assign them according to height. And they get, people just choose.
Yeah.
They're smart enough to do that. If somebody's 4 foot, they're not going to go up into the part where somebody who's 6 foot has to go to 3 feet. It's not going to happen. They'll work that out.
Well, that's how even the pool I was at, they have to go into the 3 foot. If they walk back and forth, like I said, they're going 3, 4, 5, 4, 3.5. That pool's designed that it goes down in the middle. But when they're coming up at the end, it's 3 foot when they first walk in.
yeah.
It's the same as this. We're 3, 6.
And what I'm saying about our depth though is there's hardly, you can't really, if you're tall, you really can't walk because it goes from 4'6" to 8 real quick and it's
Yeah.
real steep.
Yeah.
Everything else, you're walking, I mean, it's real gradual from 3'6" to 4'6" in almost,
That's a nice walk.
I mean, that's 75% of the pool length, you're only gaining an inch, or I'm sorry, a foot. So. if
That
you
foot on a
walk-
person like me would make a big difference.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
So-
We're moving on. I'm going to
Okay,
move
so wait,
on.
so we're doing Monday, well, hold on.
Woo, Now,
Okay.
let's be clear.
Okay, what?
Well, the Tuesday, Thursday, no lane lines, no lap swimming, it's just water walking.
Just water walking.
I thought lap swimming.
So then,
I thought we were doing,
Lap swimming at the
where's-
same time, that's what I thought.
is the lap swimmers there?
At 9 to 9:45,
9 to
Water walkers.
9:45. But there's still lap swimming
Yes,
from
there are.
9 to 1.
well, 9 to 1 is a long period of time.
Yeah.
And they said from 9 to 9:45, they could have that time as a dedicated walking time.
No, we need,
I said it was just the only time that we didn't have 3 other programs going on.
I see.
So,
Yeah. Now, we have a spot. See, I thought we were doing it that they're going to be walking where the water aerobics, and we will not disturb the lap.
And at the
How many lap lines do we have now? 3?
when it's all out, it's 6. When it's
Okay.
water aerobics, it's 3.
Okay.
And the water aerobics people get half.
Okay. So we're going to have water aerobics. No, it's not that day. Okay. You're getting me all confused.
I tend to not want to disturb the morning lap swim from 6:30 to 8 because that's before
Right.
work, or the evening one because I think many people
Right.
are in the
I
habit
agree
of
with that.
those. For me, a 9 to 1 lap swim in the middle of the day, maybe we could make it a 10 to 1 lap swim and have some time for other use for that hour. I mean, I don't know if it's going to make that much of a difference to somebody who's able to go in the middle, in mid-morning, whether they go a little bit later or earlier. So what I'm wondering is, it just seems like an awfully long lap swim period from 9 to 1, Monday through Friday. Perhaps that could be 10 to 1, allowing water walking from 9 to 10. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, maybe that can work.
Yeah, because swim team's already there until 9, so it would be, it's not like
Yeah.
we're kicking all the lap swimmers out at 9 and saying, get out of here.
Yeah.
They're already out, they're already not there because
Yeah.
they know, because swim team comes in. And so swim team will be leaving and then the pool, I think that could be manageable fairly easily. Because there's already time where there's no lap swimming happening.
Transition
for
time
it.
anyway.
Yes, there's already swim team there before.
Okay, so
That-
are we
that
amending?
one makes sense to me.
Are we amending our motion?
Well, you said dedicated to water walking.
We have-
That was in the motion.
Okay, okay.
He just wanted.
Okay, we're amending the motion. And now what's, no, write it down for-
I'm confused now.
All right, Karen, you've got that down.
Should I move? I'll make the motion.
you make the motion. Thank you, Ms. Vice Chair.
Let me try. Okay, so I move to create a dedicated water walking fitness time from 9 to 9:45 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that would make the lap swim on those days 10 to 1. And also a dedicated 2-lane water walking fitness, 2 lanes for water walking fitness on Mondays and Wednesdays from 7 to 8.
Okay.
7 o'clock to 8 p.m.
I second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay,
Is that the done deal?
okay, that's it?
I think that deserves a round of applause.
Now, don't say anything else, no more. Don't say anything else.
Yes.
Okay, here we go, we're going to new business. Senior Subcommittee.
And one related issue to that, how shall we advertise this?
Oh. Yeah, this, yeah.
Our-
this- let the
We're
staff-
actually doing star articles right now that'll
Yeah.
come out
Yeah.
we're hoping for a first week of July printing, signboard, website,
Yeah.
Caroline's blog.
Do you want some help with the writing of such an article or not?
Let staff do that,
Yeah.
that's their that's their job.
Well, I do that sometimes, so I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Shoot me an email.
I'll shoot you something, you do with it. Okay. Madison, you're involved in that a lot. Do you want to say anything about the information
Advertising?
that we can send to them?
About advertising?
Yes.
I can think of something.
Okay.
I'd like to think of new ways that we could support our programs through marketing. So,
Very good.
Okay.
By which date
Contact
do you need
contact
that?
staff.
Now.
ASCG.
Okay, now, Senior Subcommittee.
Friday.
Yes. I'd like to be on that.
I
Okay,
would, please.
Okay, we're adding that. So Dunn and Bogoff will be added to the Senior Subcommittee. Okay, and do you know who the staff person would be on that? Not yet. Probably Russ? Yes, it's Bogoff and Dunn. Okay. Okay, okay. Tying down jump houses at the community park, staff report on that?
Yeah, a couple things. Asked the Public Works Department to weigh in on this, and their concern has to do with the tying anything physically down into the grass area and the potential of hitting a water line or something else. So I think we want to be careful about that aspect of it. We do also, just to let you know, have an assistant city attorney that's looking at a variety of different park policies and different issues relative to liability in our public facilities. And so I think this is something I want her to take a look at also. So I think we'll take both of those pieces of input and get back to you at a future meeting with regards to this issue. And I think there's probably a number of kind of park policies that we want to take a look at.
Okay, thank you. Okay, revisit goals workshop meeting attachments. Any comments from commissioners?
There's one thing I wanted to ask about. One of the things that we talked about that day was kayaking. And I asked the question about, was there anything illegal that we know of about kayaking on the lagoon? And if I remember correctly, the lagoon would be a possibility for use. It's the land around the lagoon. So if somebody forded their kayak off, say, where the fishermen are and into the water, they'd be fine because there's parking there?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't investigated that issue yet. I've never seen anybody out there on a kayak or any other kind of boat. And, I mean, perhaps somebody here has. I've never seen anybody, so I'm not sure what legal issues may be involved in terms of access, what safety issues might be of concern. This is just an area that we haven't looked at all.
All right.
I just thought nobody ever wanted to go in there because it wasn't,
Too clean.
yeah, it was kind of
Pretty
yucky water.
scuzzy.
Kind of yucky water.
And I think
Yeah.
it's private property, isn't it?
Well, the underlying lots are actually owned by a number of private
But the
properties.
land around, who owns
And
that?
some of the land around is owned by UPC, but
That's what I thought.
there's, always issues, there's legal issues with regards to access to waterways, and, I mean, I could have the city attorney review this and provide a report to you. I frankly, this is an area that I really don't know much
Yeah.
about, and it just hasn't come up over the years.
One of the reasons I asked is that a lot of people asked me about why don't we have kayaking out of the marina? And the reason is, we don't have an easy place to ford a boat, and we have the jetty, which is circular, and that would have to be changed, a tremendous amount of money, and it's not doable. So is there another way we could do it? And that's one place, since the fishermen already have an area carved out and they do have parking spaces, I'm wondering what would happen if somebody wanted to take their kayak out there and try it out. I mean, the water may not be as pure as anything else. It may be much, well, some months it's terrible. I mean, it's just full of algae come July. But other months, it's getting constant wash-in from the bay, so it's not much different from then, except for the places where they've dumped stuff on the other end, I think. I'm not sure, I don't know that much about the lagoon. I'm just looking at it from the perspective of what people have asked me about.
Through the chair,
Yes.
I remember the harbor master was looking for a company that would set up these and rent them, because everyone doesn't own one.
Right.
And that, I don't know what happened, but that was the plan, if you remember, back on the marina.
With Ted, yes.
Yes, with Ted. And he was looking around to try and find a company. They would make like a shed or some kind of covering, and he would have them there, and you could rent them.
That's
I don't know what happened to that, because like I say, everyone doesn't have a kayak.
Well, that's why it was brought to my attention, because people talked about the fact that Ted had started work on that, and then when he left, it just died.
Exactly.
So they were asking, what can we do about it?
Well, I knew he was looking at some type of grant and stuff, and then, about a boat launch and all that, but it just, I guess there was budget issues and, it
Well,
just
I
wasn't
think there's-
feasible in the marina
yeah,
at that time.
As I recall, and this kind of goes back a number of years, but the issue, it's just a difficult waterway to try to navigate with a kayak out from our marina, and there's the access issues and stuff, and it just wasn't, although on the surface it may look like a great idea, it just didn't seem that, it was something that had a whole lot of viability to it. But let me do this, I haven't investigated this in a long time, so let me just put a feeler out to the staff and get
Yeah.
some initial feedback on whether, what sort of issues might be involved. And like I said, the lagoon, I just have no idea.
Yeah.
I just have no idea what would be involved with trying to make that accessible for kayaking or any kind of boat.
Well, if you go to work some morning and you see me out there,
Okay.
because,
I see bird watchers quite a bit, but I don't, I've
Yes.
never seen anybody on the lagoon.
Well, I know it's a lot different over at Oyster Point, by Dominic's and stuff, they kind of have that beach.
yes.
Right.
And it's a lot easier to access that, and there's a lot of people that go out there. Like you said, the way entering the water,
Is the big
Yeah.
deal.
to get in there is a lot easier.
I do know that there's a water trail organization, and they're interested in Brisbane, and it might be worth talking to them about access and if it looks like it's feasible.
Yeah.
Because they're trying to develop a system of water trail through
Great.
the bay. And I know it's something that Ted was working on before he left, so it might be worth revisiting.
Do you do that in trails development? Is
Or
that, or
at
is
the
that not
marina.
related?
Through the
Marina,
Marina Subcommittee.
Different trail.
Yeah. Water trails.
I think
yeah.
it's worth looking into.
Okay.
At least having someone come out and
Yeah.
assess and
Yeah.
give their opinion.
Yeah.
Through the chair, can
Yes.
I just, I'm trying to figure out what best to do with this goal-setting workshop proposed wish list. since we do have it, and we appreciate staff putting it together for us. For this actually to be a working document, it seems to me that we need to make sure that all of these different items are being handled in subcommittees. And I don't know if you want to kind of quickly go through them and shoot them off and to write next to them what subcommittee they belong to so that we can start getting to work on them.
Okay,
Because my
That's a
concern
good
is if we
idea.
just leave it on the list, we'll
Right,
just forget about them. So
okay, so,
let me get my subcommittee list out.
yeah, everybody get their proposed list. Okay, number 1, increase facility space for youth programs.
Okay, well, that's.
That would go under teen services.
We're-
Well, that was specifically for school age, I
Right.
think, the request, K through 5.
Yeah.
Okay, through 5.
Yeah.
That was like for
Oh,
rec.
that's right, that was.
That was for
portable
rec.
and stuff.
Okay, so that'd be rec programs?
Well, yeah, the after-school program for K through
Okay.
So
5.
that would be facilities?
Recreational facilities? Is that what you wanted
That's more
under?
about space, so I would think it's.
Okay, recreational facilities.
Okay,
Okay. Okay, number 2, after-school activities for middle-aged kids. So
teen,
that would be teen services.
we're working on that. Okay, trails development, that's trails.
Yes. Trail running club with rewards. Would that be trails?
Be
That could be
trails.
That would fit nicely.
Okay. Skate park design.
Teens,
Isn't that facilities?
it's teen services right now.
Oh, is it?
Teen
We'll hold on to that a
services.
little while longer.
Kayaking. Would that be marina?
That's marina.
Yeah.
Cheerleading. Would that be programs?
Yeah.
Yes.
Recreational
Is
programs?
it programs or would it be teen services? Because would it fall into that age group?
I think.
No, not necessarily. They start quite young.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's so much
So pro-
dance involved.
Well, we could have it as a, as a program.
Okay,
That would be open to teens.
okay, that
Um,
sounds good. Community weight loss program,
Um,
recreation programs?
That's a that can be a
Recreation program,
So, okay,
okay.
it's programs.
Movie night at the pool, is that like an event?
Yeah, that's an event.
So we don't really have an event subcommittee, so
Would that be a?
would
free-
that
or a
be,
fundraising
How
event?
successful was that when they had it before, Steve?
It was almost before my time. That
Oh,
was
was
a
it?
long
It
time
was
ago.
it was when I was a kid.
well, yeah, would that be a fundraiser? Would we put it under that, or?
Or we could just it doesn't necessarily have to be a fundraiser.
Yeah.
Could just
I
be
think
for the
we
pool.
were talking about doing one, and I think it was Mob or Best was doing movies in the park. We didn't want to step on their
Yes.
toes as a
Well,
fundraiser.
BDW is doing.
Yeah.
The BDW. So are they still doing movies in the park, or is that?
They did last
We
year.
were, but then BES was doing it, so we stepped back, and I don't know if we're going to step forward again, we'll see.
Okay.
Well, I feel like at the pool is something completely.
Yeah, we
That
didn't have to be a
is
fundraiser. It
cool.
could just be an event.
So what subcommittee do you want, both movie night at the pool, movie night at the park? What subcommittee would that go under?
I think we don't have a special events.
We don't, we have individual events.
Oh, okay, yeah,
In the
right.
park, Derby.
Because those events are so big. I mean, you could have an events one that could encompass like fire hydrant painting
Yeah.
and lagoon cleanup, or
think so.
that could be marina. But there's a lot of little small events that don't necessarily take a huge planning.
I agree.
effort.
Okay, then why don't we do this? This is a suggestion. We have you as fire hydrant
Restoration.
subcommittee, so why don't we rename that and just put
Events.
events?
That sounds good.
Perfect.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, so 9 is events. 10 is events, and I'll look into BDW and what they're going to do.
Okay, community karaoke night, that could be an event.
Yeah.
Events going to be busy.
Alameda Cultural Center Subcommittee Tour, wouldn't that be under facilities?
Sound facility.
That's something would we all go, or that
I'd like to have us all
like to
go. I
go.
think it'd be great.
field trip?
And
Okay, so that's
they're
just
willing
a,
to give us a tour.
so,
You say when you want to go. I'll call ahead and talk to
that's not on us.
The director?
So then that'll just be a commission field trip
Okay,
and not
nothing else.
not a subcommittee. Okay. Fire plug, that's an event. Senior Programming Subcommittee, that's
We have,
the senior,
Here, seniors?
seniors. Okay, Marina Plan goes under the Marina. Crocker Park Recreational Trail Improvements under Trails. Old Quarry Road Water Fountain Trails.
Yeah.
Silver Tot Safety, okay, Health and Safety Council Subcommittee. What's the Health and Safety Council Subcommittee?
That's a subcommittee of the city council.
Okay,
And they're looking at the, that's one of the things they're looking at is the Silver Spot Tot Lot.
okay.
Just safety issues there?
Pardon me?
Just safety issues?
Safety issues and maybe doing some project that would, just spruce it up, modernize it a little.
It's actually being painted this week, I've noticed during in-service at the pool.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so,
Well, is that like one of our recreational facilities? Because it is a facility we use, I mean, it's a
Right.
park. Would we put it under that?
Probably.
Right.
Okay, that's under recreational facilities.
Okay.
Okay, Lippman Restroom,
is that
that's a
facilities?
facility too. Bocce ball at the marina, that's a marina thing. Ball field turfs,
Ball field. Oh,
that's, I guess, a facility.
yes, I would think so.
Raised basketball nets to regulate, well, that'd be a facility too. Future development, soccer field and gym.
They've talked about that for a long time.
Yeah, that's kind of one of our,
You don't need a committee. for
no,
that,
that's
I think.
just,
Just something to keep on the list.
but how do you want to word it? Oh.
If we put it in facilities as a possibility, it just becomes
Yeah,
a
that's
place to
true.
be so that you can
Facility,
have it constantly worked on.
you're right.
And maybe you have a priority list within facilities.
Right.
Yeah, and the other one, a facility too, economic development and enhanced batting facility.
I beg your pardon?
And then the enhanced batting cages at
Enhanced
Mission
batting
Blue
cages,
facility. Has everybody got that? Or do I need to should I repeat
No.
it to you, Steve?
I got it.
Okay.
I think we can get if we can get
Yeah.
a printout of that,
Yeah.
with all the new assignments, that'll be great, Tricia.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that really helps us. Thank you, Karen,
Sure.
for suggesting that. So is there anything else on the gold workshop that was the summary there that anybody would like to talk about? Okay, then we'll move on.
To the chair?
Yes.
So what we'll do is we'll kind of wrap this into a annual report.
Okay.
Send it on to the council.
Okay.
Oh, great. Okay. Okay, reports, chairperson. No, I don't have anything. Well, I have one thing. I did get my new Parks and Recreation magazine,
I got
Oh,
mine.
yeah.
so everybody look at it.
I got mine too.
Okay, subcommittees.
Day in the
Subcommittee,
park.
yeah, we need to meet again and finalize some things.
Has anyone met? I don't think so.
Yes.
Yes, some people have met. Okay,
Teen Services met. We met with the council side of the council school board 2x2 and looking at trying to create some sort of programs for middle schoolers after school. And we're still working on that, so that's in progress. What else? I have a couple of quick follow-up questions. So public art, Caroline was going to look into grants for some sort of public programs. Any progress in that area?
She has, she's looked at a few things, and I'll have to follow up with her. I know she sent me something not too long ago. It hasn't been a real, kind of like, it hasn't risen to the top of the list in terms of things to do, but she has made some contacts. And then there's also the issue of the ordinance coming to the planning commission at some point.
And when is that? Is that scheduled yet too? Okay, so that's not scheduled yet.
Any other subcommittee reports?
Let's see, renovation of community center and garden. I know that, Clay, there was a budget request for the rail and paint floor curtains. Has that gone by council yet?
I had already given the go-ahead to Russ with regards to the curtains
Okay.
and blinds, I guess. So that's in this year's budget. As far as the railings in the back, if that was your question, that's part of the 2014-15 budget. The
Okay.
council's going to be reviewing the budget tomorrow night. It's in the budget right now, and of course, that's subject to their final approval.
Okay.
Okay. The Sustainability Committee met and we're fine-tuning the document. So it's still a work in progress. So as soon as we get that, it'll be submitted to everybody and then we can go over it as a group. But it's,
Just one update on that. It is actually on tomorrow night's city council meeting, just as an information piece.
Oh, okay.
Not for adoption.
okay.
And so if you have an interest in looking at it, it is online.
Oh, okay,
City's website.
great. Thank you. Any other? I don't,
Well, the skateboard park proposal and response to the RFP is also coming up tomorrow
right.
at the city council meeting. So that'll be
Right,
interesting.
right, that's true, yeah. Okay. Jamie?
If we're on commissioners' matters,
No, we're still on subcommittees.
on the subcommittees,
Okay.
no, not.
Okay, so all the subcommittees done? Okay, setting subcommittee meetings.
Through the chair.
Yes,
I think since the weather is nice for the next couple of months, hopefully, it would be a good time probably for me to get going on figuring out this whole fire hydrant thing if we're shooting for the fall. So since I haven't been on a subcommittee, I don't know how it works with getting a staff member to partner with us.
With Russ.
And then Russ, and then how do you get community members
So the staff will be in touch with you
to figure
in
it
regards
out?
to the setting up the meetings. They are subject to the Brown Act, so there is posting that's required, an
right.
agenda that's required to be
Okay.
established. That's put up on our website. It's put on the various areas in town where we do notices for meetings.
So then, and do you seek people to join? Like, do people formally join a subcommittee?
No.
Or they just show up to
Show
help?
up. It's similar
It's
to
a
the city
public
council.
meeting.
We're
The
at,
way
but it's
Parks
a
and
public
Rec.
meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, the two members of the Parks Commission that are on the subcommittee are the subcommittee. And then
Okay.
members of the public can come and.
Can come.
Yeah.
Because I know my mom went to one for Day in the Park. Or no, concerts in the park.
Right.
So I didn't know if there was like also a group of residents who were on
No.
the subcommittee.
No.
Or they just
On it,
come
but they
meet.
can
they
come
just
and
come and they can give you input.
Because it's posted, then they know that you're meeting at such and such place. So then they can come, and then they notify you in advance
Right,
that they're coming.
yeah,
Well, they don't actually need to notify you either. They can just show up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have it in one of the city facilities?
Yeah, normally it would be in the conference room here at City Hall.
Okay. Thank you.
And then your staff member is kind of your go-to, you know.
you.
Yeah, you know, if you need to direct them to, will you check that out and find that out? And they,
What we'll do is, now that you've kind of assigned all these things out today, is I'll meet with staff in the next few days, and then we'll get kind of the assignments set up, if we have to review some of them, and then be in touch with the subcommittee members to get meetings set up.
Okay, thanks.
okay, okay. Okay, so setting up subcommittees, so you're going to meet the events.
Yeah.
We should probably meet Day in the Park.
Yes.
Because we need to hit this, find out we haven't gotten any input back from our last meeting, so we don't
Exactly.
know really what's going on. So we need to tune that up. October's going to be here before we know it. So that, anybody else need to meet?
Do we need to meet then for the Derby? Because,
Yes, but we usually don't do that maybe till about August
Okay.
to get the
This is not as big.
people, because it's, we kind of know what's going on there. We're trying to do some other events
New
here.
thing.
We got to lock in our entertainment and everything.
Got it.
At Dane the Park.
Let's see, so Bonnie, you and I are meeting about community center, looking at window coverings. I can't remember which day that is. It's
He
on my calendar
talked to
yet.
me today, he was wondering about Monday.
Monday, so that's,
I don't know if it's set, but he said, what about Monday
I
around
think
3
Monday
or
is fine for
so?
me. Okay, so we'll be doing that.
And it looks, Karen, like you've got a lot of meetings, but I'm wondering if there's a way that we can get a recreation program meeting together, just enough to touch on a couple of these things. First of all, the cheerleading, which we find is going to be a really big draw, and we might want to talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
And see how we support that. And the other thing is a weight loss program in the city, citywide weight loss program, which I think would be a fun thing to do. And if we could do some planning around that and kind of gear it towards early, very early fall, late summer, early fall, maybe make the Star in the fall edition and see if we can have a walking program and then walking around the park, buddy system, whichever we can do. And
I like that
Do-
idea.
do you wanna
Okay,
do
Yeah,
that?
let's go ahead and meet. We'll meet sometime.
so do you want to let me know when, because you
Okay.
you have a different schedule than I
Okay,
do,
that
and
sounds good. I'll
I
make a
can work
little
around
note.
yours most of the time.
I'll do that. Sounds good. And then I also just want to make sure we're still following up on public art, and I don't think we need to meet very soon, but I think we should meet probably late July or August. Don't you think?
And I'll get you the status report out.
That'd be perfect.
There was one other thing, and that was this karaoke in the park. I just have a sense that that might be a real big deal, since we're having fewer concerts than we've had in the past. If we had a karaoke night in the park and had big screen availability with projection of words and taped music, we might get a draw.
So then could we do that and we should talk about that in events?
That's right.
Yes. Would you like that then?
Yes,
Okay.
since that's now all encompassing.
Okay, but
You
the,
want to set that meeting and let me know?
Do we need to have make
I
sure
mean, I
Russ is
think
on board?
The way it would work best is staff will coordinate that, and we'll be in touch with you, get some
That's
dates
what I
set up.
Okay.
Okay.
But
So
it
the-
sounds like really all your subcommittees need to kind of meet relatively.
Yes.
Within the next month or two, and
right.
so we can get them kind of jump-started for the year. So we'll work on getting that done.
Okay.
what do you already have to meet for Festival of Lights? Okay. Just checking, since you said that,
Do you want to
Clay.
meet for Festival of
That's a lot of meetings,
Early, but
$25.
a lot of that's, the beginning.
Things to do.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, commissioners. Any,
I just
have
want to
anything?
say that I'm so sorry, but I will be missing the next meeting on the 16th. I'll be out of the country
Good for you.
on
okay,
vacation. Oh, yay.
okay,
But I'll be missing that one.
okay.
Saturday, it's the trails cleanup,
Right.
That's right.
9 to 1,
Oh, yeah.
It's Quarry Road.
Corey Road.
Yeah, and we're sponsoring that with Mountain Watch and Ecology, I believe.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Is that we
correct?
being Park and Rec? Is that Park and Rec co-sponsoring it?
Yes.
Is there something that we need to be doing for that?
Show up.
Go up.
Show up, staff, I
City
will be there.
provide,
Yeah, they'll provide coffee, donuts, I don't know,
Lunch,
Two.
T-shirts,
yeah, yeah,
okay.
garbage bags.
Gloves?
We don't have to bring our own.
yeah. Okay, thank you for reminding us, Bonnie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And through the chair, there was a thread that went on Facebook about the dog park. And it concerned me because people were talking about dogs being bitten at the dog park, and people, if I remember correctly, I forwarded that on to Trish, people maybe being bitten at the dog park, and I went back and forth. One person chimed in and said, I love the dog park. I think we have a great dog park. There is no better dog park. But the truth of the matter is, these other statements made by other people were just as valid, saying that their dogs were being bitten and they were having to be careful about when they would go to the park. I've gone to the park and had people tell me, my dogs are not friendly, and I'm standing on the outside thinking, well, then I can't go in. So I traditionally you'll see me down there at 10 o'clock at night, because around that time, there's almost nobody there. Although one night I was there till 11, and there were 3 guys on the other end looking like they might be spending the night at the park. It's a very comfortable park for people who go there. And so a lot of people tend to go and sit and kibitz and have a good time together. And they kind of know their little dogs playing together, and they don't worry about them. But somebody else comes in who's not part of the gang, and they don't know what their place is, and they're trying to manage their dogs and this other big group of dogs. So what I did say was I would bring it up at the commission meeting, and that we had tried to ameliorate some of the problems by limiting the numbers of dogs to 3 per person, and the police actually put a sign up that said, if you have problems, call the police department. And our sign says, no aggressive dogs. But I did have an incident, as I showed some of the commissioners from last year. I showed you a picture of a dog where the side had been bitten out of it, and the people whose dog had done the biting refused to pay for it and said, it's a dog park, you're here at your own peril. But that's not true. If your dog bites another dog and damages it, and this was an $800 bill, that's what I remember. The woman whose dog got bit could not pay for it. And so I went over and talked to them, and I said, you really have to follow through on taking care of these things in a responsible way. Whether they're in the dog park or they're out of the dog park, if your dog does something like that, you have to take responsibility. So, and I honestly was shocked, because people said to me, oh, all the dogs bite here. They'll bite, and to me, that's the reason I don't go there when there's a gang there, because they do get playing very rambunctiously, and people are sitting, some eating, some reading, some listening to music, some on the phone. And as much, if you go over there and look at the furniture, there's a tremendous amount of really lovely furniture for people to sit down and enjoy. In most dog parks, you're standing up and walking, and you're in among the dogs, and you're with your dog. So you know what your dog is doing at all times. This doesn't happen here as much. So I think, when we get complaints like that, to the point that they're going on to Facebook, we have to respond to them in some way. And the response I gave was, the city has made a declaration by putting a sign up saying, no aggressive dogs. And if your dog is aggressive, the dog must be taken out. And secondly, the police department has put up a sign saying, if you have a problem, call the police department, and we're able to do that. I don't know that we can do more than that, but I think that at least we can direct people to feel free. As I said, you can call the city manager and make him aware. He can also talk to the police department, and you can talk to the police department. But it can get clubby over there, and that makes it difficult for people who want to come in and walk a dog, or play with the dog. We stopped the problems of the 10-dog gangs coming in. And I don't know if you saw this, but recently somebody got arrested for leaving 10 dogs, they were a dog walker, leaving 10 dogs in a van in San Francisco while they went shopping. And somebody saw this, and the dogs it was overheated, and the dogs, and they busted into the van and opened it up for the dogs. They arrested the person who had the van. So we've done well by protecting our dog park and our dogs. And just want the community to know that we're watching this, and we're aware of it, and we're concerned. And please do call the police. Please do call the city manager, because we do care about whether or not your dogs and you are safe.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Dunn. Any other commissioners? No, okay, on to staff. Nothing?
No problem.
Okay, no program, or programs report? No, okay. Okay, commission matters. Okay, written communications? None, thank you. Okay, commission calendar. Or next meeting, which will be July 16th. Karen will not be here. What are we going to have on our calendar?
I can't imagine.
Well,
We won't have the pool.
well, hopefully,
No.
I was going to say, maybe
no more pool. That'll go in July 7th, won't it, Steve?
Yeah,
Okay.
Where's
That- The walking fitness.
we'll be
Okay.
talking about what a great and successful program.
Yes, okay,
I actually said that. I
okay.
said, if we don't have people coming, I'm going to have to go to every single event in different disguises to make sure it looks like it's a success. But I'll give it my best.
Well, we want to see you in that pool.
You know,
After all this, you better get in that pool.
I do go into that pool. My only issue is.
I
it's a
did
bit of-
say that, didn't I?
It's a bit of an expense, but on the other
Okay.
hand,
Okay.
it's an absolute treasure to have, and have that opportunity because it's a big, big help.
Okay, okay, back to what are we going to have on our calendar? And staff help me here?
Subcommittee
a
report.
lot of subcommittee reports.
Okay,
Mainly subcommittees.
okay. Yeah, I can't think of any.
I mean, you could
Yeah.
find out about the fire hydrant painting.
Okay, just a lot of updates, okay.
Is this meeting necessary if we don't have anything in particular?
Yeah. Yeah, and I do know that in August, I will not, we should probably talk about this, I will not be here in August. I'm going on my vacation. So, and sometimes that month of August, we haven't had a meeting. Is there any, does anybody want to take a month off for vacation in,
I think we're going on vacation, but I don't think it'll conflict with.
okay, I just, just checking, because sometimes we've done that.
We've skipped August. I think the council does that too, don't they?
Well, they're doing a little different this
Oh.
year. They're going to have just one meeting in July and one meeting in August.
Yeah. Okay.
Through the
Maybe we should cancel that.
Do you want to cancel August?
Me. I think it's fine.
All in
You want to
favor?
wait and see how subcommittee meetings or not?
Well, I
Yeah,
don't know
that
if
might
we'll
be a
get 'em
good
all.
idea.
What?
To see how it goes with the subcommittee.
Because we've got a couple of big events coming up
Yeah.
closely in October, so, and we'll be in the midst of concerts in the park, so
Okay, we'll play that by ear, okay?
Through the chair, I have
Yes.
a question for Clay.
Okay.
I don't know if this is necessarily a subcommittee thing, but would it be possible to get a report on what fire hydrants are already painted that we can touch up? Because there's some that are already characters and there are others that are plain. Okay. Thanks.
Okay, good. Well, then I'm going to call this meeting over, 8:08. Thank you.
Call for a motion.
Adjourn.